Oh, you're welcome to walk into with layers too. I quickly want to run us through what we can do with layers. Now, the first thing we can do with layers here is new. You can create a new layer from here, and you can see this is a new layer. You can name the layer the name you want it to be. You can give it a color here, maybe to just set a blending mode. We're going to discuss this in full details in later videos, how you work with your blending mode and the opacity stuff. We are going to explain a lot of them. So just say new, so you can see that the color code that we set is there, and this is the new layer we have just created. So you can create a new layer here, you can see. So another thing you can do is under new layer, you can create a background from layer, you can group layer, you can duplicate a particular layer. So like the new layer we created, you can click on duplicate. You see now we duplicate new copy, that is a copy of this new that we are creating. When you say okay, now you can see that there is a duplication there, and you can duplicate a group. For instance, on this group that we are just click here, you can pick on layer, duplicate group. You can see, so group 2 copy, because the name of the layer is group 2, and you can see group 2, the copy for group 2. You can see that. So a lot of stuff you can do with layer. Again, you can rename group, layer style. We're going to talk, there will be a video on this. We are going to explain all these layer style. There are special effects you can use for a particular element of design on the layer. So we have new layer, new fill layer. You can create a new layer with a new fill, like solid. Now you can create a new fill which is solid. So just create a new fill, and you can pick the kind of color you want to. You can see, pick a color for it, and you create your new fill with layer. You can create a new layer with new fill with gradients, with patterns, the one you chose. And adjustment layer also, we have talked about an adjustment layer in some of our earlier videos, where we are going to work on it more when we come to photo editing very soon. Just know that these are adjustment layer you can use to create effects for your pictures or vector objects. We are going to be working on that. So layer content option, we have layer mask. We're going to be working on it on a layer videos separately. Just know that there is something we call layer mask and vector mask. We have seen a lot of effects with transparency in Photoshop. That is what we use layer masks for. And we have creating clipping mask. Let me just explain this to us now before we go. There is an example in this place that I did. Let me ungroup this. You can just right click. Some of the option will come out for layers. Right click, it said ungroup layers. So when I ungroup, you can see what is happening in this place. Let me hide this ones and hide this. You can see what is happening here. This picture is being clipped into that circle. So the way we do that is this. So you see that the picture is at the top of the eclipse. Eclipse is below, and the picture is. So let me just remove the effects that release clipping. So for you to do that, to put this picture to clip in that circle, what we call power clipping in Photoshop in CorelDRAW, you can just go to layer and create clipping mask. You can see that it has been clipped into it. So that's just a simple effect. And if you want to remove it, you can just say right click it and say there's a release clipping, and to be released, and you can still do your left and say create clipping mask, and it is done. So these are another effect you can do. So another thing you can do in layers here is the clipping smart object. I'm going to explain what smart object is to us in another video. There will be a particular video that we treat that smart object. It's a new feature in Photoshop, and I'm going to explain it to us. You can rasterize your layer. So you can rasterize type, you can rasterize shape. So rasterize is just like picking up a particular element that is a vector element and convert it to a bitmap element. So you can go to image and layer now and go to rasterize and say rasterize fill content. So you can see now, so it's now a bitmap element, no longer vector. Again, that is what it's just like converting to bitmap in CorelDRAW as we are used to it. So other stuff you can do with layer is rasterize, new layer based slice. You can group layers together as I've shown us. You can show a layer, you can arrange a layer, bring it to back, send to back, and all those stuff. You can do your alignment and distribution with layers. When you pick one or two elements, you can align them the way you want it to be. You want to do that is picking like 2 elements now. Sorry, that is layer. Let me pick 1, 2, 3. So now you now go to layer. You see the alignment. It's been revealed. You can do it to top, vertical edges, bottom edges, left edges, horizontal centers, and right edges. So that's what you can do. You can merge layers together. Like if I click on merge layers, Control E, you can see it merged those 3 layers I pick. You can see them; they are now merged together in one as one entity. Control undo that. That is Control Z. So now Control Z. You get now. So layer, you can merge visible. That merge visible means merge all layers that are being visible. You see that all layers that are revealed are being merged, but the ones that are not visible are not touched. That is merge visible. So the last but not the least here is flatten image. So you can flatten a particular image. You say you can flatten all your make it bitmap. So the whole thing you have here, you flatten it by making it a bitmap. Or when you are using photo editing, you are editing your picture and you want to make it combine all the effects together into one bitmap, you can do flatten image. A lot of that we are going to be explaining one after the other. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, send your comments. Thank you so much. Bye bye.